This is how our weekend ends. With the tow truck. Alright, so we are back at the motorhome. It is Wednesday. That was Sunday night. And I'm trying to figure out what's going on with this thing. We figured out that this fuse, the ECM battery fuse right here. Let me see if I can get in there. Okay, I know a lot of people have had this problem, so I'm going to see if I can fix it and document it in the process. So the ECM battery fuse is blowing. Every time you try to crank it over or just turn the ignition on, I think it just blows. So I noticed when it did that, I smelt some burning, melting wire going on here. And when I looked down here, this guy, I've already chipped it all away, but there was all this melted stuff on here. So it ran once I meddled with this, once I messed with this wire, and then I smelt the burning again and it stopped running. And I don't know, I'm not 100% sure that it was this now, but I thought it was, but now I'm not that confident. So, but I did discover something. I was up front messing around with the wiring. I'll show you in a second. And I always thought that there's a little solar charging panel on the top of this AC unit. I always thought it was broken because this never worked. But when I was under there, I noticed that the solar panel fuse is out. So the couple years that I've owned this, I didn't know that. And that could have been keeping my battery charged. And I was always having battery problems with this thing. So, yeah, all of a sudden it's charging because this fuse was not in there. And now it just looks like that it works. So, yeah, I'm trying to figure this thing out. This thing is complicated. It's a house and an automobile mixed together. All right, here we are. It's the next day. I got this thing jump started. My buddy Scott came home and we got this thing running. It turned out it was what I thought it was. It was these wires. Mainly, I think this one wasn't the melted one, but it had a big kink in it right here where it went into the factory wiring harness. So I got those wires fixed. I got them loosened up. I put that connector in that one. The other one, all I did was just straighten it out and kind of take some of the pressure off of it. So yeah, last night I tucked everything back in where it needs to go. I drove this thing around the block. And so far, it seems okay. I can't say 100% for sure, but it seems like it's fine. So we'll see when we go to drive it home on the freeway. I'm gonna cruise it around town a little bit to make sure that it's okay before I take it on I-5. But yeah, I think that's all I got for this. I think this is good to go. So I hope. All right, guys, here I am back again. Sorry about the noise. I didn't make it very far. Last night I drove this thing around with no problems. This morning I went to leave and I got down the street and it died on me. And I finally found the oil pressure sending unit wires that are chafed. You can see it right there. So I ended up unplugging it and I actually clipped the wires because I couldn't get it out of some bracket that was over there. But anyways, it seems to run without it. So I think I'm gonna drive it home like this and then wire it back when I get home. Right now, it's just reading like a default of 80 PSI. So I guess that works. But yeah, it was shorting out and it was blowing that ECM power fuse. And look, there's another spot right here. Norbear wire on this part. So I'm gonna replace the wire probably from here down to the plug, which I cut off just to get it out easier. I was blocking traffic and it was super embarrassing. So, you know, I figured it out. So I'm gonna tape these things up so they don't ground out on anything, and then we're gonna hit the road. Woo! I think I went a little bit too far on that last one there. All right, so I finally found the wires that are chafing on this thing. These 3 wires right here run down to the oil pressure sending unit on the front of the engine, down by the bottom. Let's see here. So I don't know if you can see, it's kind of hard. I got it wrapped up in tape right now, but this is all like just fried. It ran like behind the power steering bracket and just cooked the wires, and eventually started shorting them out, and that was our whole problem. So now I'm working on putting these back together. I got a piece of old trailer wiring harness. This is a 3-wire switch, so I needed 3 wires. This has got 4. We're just going to leave this one in here because it's part of the, it's kind of part of the deal, you know. It's got a like a wrap around it, a plastic coating that keeps all the wires together. So if I pull one out, it's just going to get all floppy. So I'm going to leave that on there, and then I got this one all heat shrinked up with those cool connectors. Turned out pretty good. So now I need to wrap that with electrical tape. I need to cut this down here where it's still good, and do the same solder with those connectors, and then wrap it all up and feed it back down. I'm gonna take a longer route. I'm gonna make this longer and take a longer route to the oil pressure switch so that it's not, doesn't have to run right next to the engine. So yeah, that's, I'm gonna get that wrapped up, and this thing will be back on the road. All right, yeah, so that's it. Motorhome is running good again. I'm just going through fixing everything that I can find wrong with it. I think we're gonna sell it soon, and we're gonna build our own motorhome, probably from a bus, maybe a box van, who knows, we'll find something. But the thing's just too big, and I need to tow the trailer with you know, the MR2 or whatever on it. So I need to get something smaller, hopefully something diesel. Yeah, so thank you guys for watching. I hope somebody finds this useful, because this is a common problem with GMs, especially of this era. They have a lot of wiring chafing problems, it seems like. A lot of people said it was fuel pump. Fuel pump causes the same problem, I guess, where it blows that ECU fuse. So check your wiring for your fuel pump, check your wiring for your oil pressure sensor, especially the oil pressure sensor. And they're not all located in the same spot. Some people say they're in the back of the block. You know, you got to find it and, you know, figure out where that chafing is coming from. So anyways, thank you guys for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.